Section 8.1. As you review, we set this chart up before. In quadrant 1, all are positive, sine, cosine, tangent. In quadrant 2, sine is positive. In quadrant 3, tangent is positive. And in quadrant 4, cosine is positive. So each one of these represents a quadrant. Alright, because we're going to need that in upcoming notes here. So the first question says, determine the sine of the secant at 52 degrees. When they say sine, S-I-G-N, they just want you to type in or select that it's either positive or negative. So 52 degrees is in quadrant 1, and quadrant secant is the inverse of cosine, and cosine in quadrant 1 is positive, so the answer is positive. The second question, cosine of 150 degrees. 150 degrees is in the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, the cosine is negative, so you select negative. Find the exact values of -5, -12. I had gone over this in chapter 4. This is an ordered pair. Two negatives as an ordered pair puts you in quadrant 3. -5 is the distance along the x. -12 is the distance along the y. So you need to find the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse, using Pythagorean theorem, is the square root of -5 squared plus a -12 squared. So that's going to be the square root of 169. Square root of 169 is 13, so the hypotenuse is 13. Set up your trig functions. Sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent theta is opposite over adjacent. Cosecant, secant, and cotangents are flipped from the sine, cosine, and tangent. So I labeled my sides according to theta. Theta is always over here with the x-axis. So the adjacent side is the -5 number. The opposite side is the -12 number. And the hypotenuse is 13. So opposite over hypotenuse is -12 over 13. Adjacent over hypotenuse is -5 over 13. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, so it's -12 over -5. And again, when you have two negatives in division, it's positive, so that's positive 12 over 5. For the cosecant, I just flip around the sign, so that becomes -13 over 12. It doesn't matter where you put the negative sign. I usually like to leave it on the numerator number. That's why I kept it there. Secant is going to be -13 over 5. And cotangent is 5 over 12.